It's Erin Wild, and we are around town. And I got to tell you about this amazing organization that I actually got to be a judge for a contest, and I was blown away. It was such an honor to be a judge, but it was quite the challenge. And then I learned a lot of things around town and what they do around town. So we've brought them here to the Around Town podcast. I've got Stacy and Chelsea from Erath County Habitat for Humanity.
That is correct. Thank you.
Okay, so first let's talk about the Voice for Humanity because, wow, that was amazing. The talent, blown
Fantastic.
away.
This group, and Chelsea and I said through this entire year, the contestants, the finalists are our highlight. They were talented, but team players and such supporters of what we're doing at Erath County Habitat
and
for
supporters
Humanity.
of each other this year, which was really, really special. I think we had a camaraderie in the group this year that we have never seen before.
Yeah, it was really neat. It was cool to be a part of. And our winner, his name was?
Jacob Chapman.
Okay, yeah, remember that name, that
Yes,
boy.
he was good.
They all were. It was so good. It was such a cool thing. And to hear them speak about why they wanted to get involved and give back. So let's talk about what you guys actually do at Habitat for Humanity.
Okay, well, first, I do want to give a big shout out to Hood County Habitat. You guys have a fantastic habitat affiliate here in Hood County. And I called and talked to Carol Davidson to make sure it was good that we came over here and talked to. And she said essentially the same thing that our contestants said. We are all part of the Habitat family, and you talk about what you're doing, and we're big fans of yours, just as we are big fans of Hood County Habitat.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fantastic organization and a fantastic family to be a part of. What we do in Erath County, we're a small all-volunteer affiliate, so we typically build about one home a year. When we have lots, we are about to start our last build on the last lot that we have.
Okay.
And in the meantime, we're also doing ramps and repairs for low-income senior citizens, disabled veterans, disabled persons. And so that allows us to continue helping people stay in their homes. And that particular program is fully funded by the affiliate and our donors, and they do not have to repay the cost of those repairs.
Wow.
Our home ownership program, they do qualify for a 0% interest mortgage, and they repay and they make a mortgage payment that can run 30 to 40 years to get it down low enough for them to be able to afford that house.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
So what are your guys' needs from the community? Is it, the lumber or the volunteer, the work?
The main thing we need right now, we need land, or we need significant donations of funds to purchase land.
Okay.
In Erath County, because of the expansion, I think a lot of Tarleton's expansion has caused property values to really go up. It is not uncommon to pay more than $50,000 for a 50-foot wide by 100-foot deep lot.
Wow.
In Stephenville. And that's abutting a railroad. So we're talking about a 5,000 square foot lot abutting the railroad. Literally, the railroad runs behind it.
Wow.
And it would bring $50,000.
And that's been our big focus, I would say, for the past couple of years. It's been really, really on our minds because we are about to start a build on the last lot that we own currently. So land is our biggest need, I would say, just so that we can continue, that vision into the future. Our affiliate has been around for 26 years. And I'm not sure, since I've been involved, I don't recall it ever being to a point where we were, where are we going to be able to build next, but that's where we're at.
Yes.
Wow.
So
land
is big.
Land donation or the money to purchase it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And can anybody just become a volunteer and help you guys out with all projects?
Pretty much, yes. We have training and certain different, whether it be construction that you're wanting to do or like the fundraiser that we just had. There is a lot of planning and admin things that go along behind the scenes on that, graphics, social media, all of those kind of things. We use volunteer because we're all volunteer. We have no paid staff.
Wow.
And so all of us are doing what we can volunteer after work, most of us from full-time jobs. I'm fortunate that I don't have to work full-time, but Chelsea is working full time at one job and then part time at another, and is on several different boards as well. So
Wow.
we've got we've got amazing volunteers,
Yeah.
but yes, we always need volunteers
Okay.
in many aspects. When
Well,
you're
it's
all
awesome.
volunteer,
Awesome. Well, thank you for what you guys do. Do you have like big events coming up before the next Voice for Habitat? Anything like that?
That's kind of our banner event.
Okay.
And I will say it's still somewhat in its infancy. This is the 4th year that we've had a Voice for Habitat, and it has
Okay.
grown exponentially every year. But because we are an all volunteer organization, I think our sanity can only handle one
Yeah,
major
once a year.
event. But when we have a home, we've done ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings, things like that. So there are other smaller things, but this is our big event.
yes. As far as fundraisers, this is the only fundraiser that we
Okay.
have. We do have a couple of things coming up. We don't have definite dates on them. We finally have a home for Habitat. Last fall, we finally got our certificate of occupancy
Ah,
and have
awesome.
an office and warehouse for Habitat.
Okay.
We have been borrowing meeting space in other buildings, and
We've been nomads.
yes. Somebody said finally, "Oh, so you grew up and you're not couch surfing anymore." And that's kind of, we're
Yeah.
not borrowing space in other people's
Awesome.
facilities finally. And so one of the things that we will have coming up probably in April is a ribbon cutting and open house for that space, because so many people in Erath and so many businesses in Erath County stepped up and volunteered labor or donated a half off on the metal building. That's what Prime Metal Building did
Awesome.
for us. We had so many that stepped up and supported us having a home so we could have a place to store extra material, and we'd had to pass up huge donations because we had nowhere to store them.
Oh, wow.
So, and we can meet with our families, do our personal financial literacy training. We've had some community collaboration meetings in that space. So that's one thing that we have coming up, is that thank you reception for those
Awesome.
people, and a ribbon cutting and unveiling the mural. We discussed at our board meeting yesterday the mural and getting all of those sponsors and donors thanked in a more permanent space in that office building. And then we do have the groundbreaking for our next family coming up this spring sometime.
So if a family is looking for this service, for a home, how do they go about getting the assistance, the help?
We open our entries when we have a spot available, and we know, because the way that the program works is they do sweat equity, both on the projects or the homes before theirs. They have to get 60 before we even begin planning their
Okay.
home.
Okay.
And then they do an additional, I think it depends, but they do additional
we changed
significant
it.
amount, significant amount on their own home while we're building their home. So we will not be opening applications again until we get a lot to build on, so they can be doing sweat equity on this home to get to their home. So it can be a 2-year process
Okay.
to get into a home, because they're doing sweat equity on home or projects before theirs. Now, this particular family who has got they have to get the 60 before they've met that, and the way they've done that is by volunteering on the ramps and repairs.
Oh, awesome.
And we've done a lot of sealing and painting ramps, and then also they volunteered at A Voice for Habitat. So any of those kind of needs that we have for volunteering can count for their sweat equity.
Oh.
So
Yeah, we like to say it's a hand up, not a handout.
Yeah, I love
so-
that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody is thinking about maybe getting into the voice next year and they've got a voice, how do they apply? Or
So we usually, and I say usually, again, we're still somewhat in infancy, but next year will be our 5th year. We have kind of historically tried to open up applications for, finding contestants and everything in around September, usually right at the beginning of school, because especially since we're, so closely affiliated with Tarleton and just the school year, we find that that's a really good time, right as school is beginning, that we can potentially pick up some contestants there.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually have about a month. So they we open up an application. It usually gets posted on our social medias and things like that. And then we ask them to submit a video of them singing. It can be something that they've done previously, a recording of, them playing a gig or something like that, but or them just recording themselves singing in their own home. And then we kind of work through those, applications. And we really do try to talk to contestants, really early on to help them understand it's a fundraiser in addition to a singing competition. So it really serves kind of a dual purpose. But that's where we kind of find some people that are just really passionate about their communities. And so they just also happen to be fantastic singers.
Yeah, I love that. Well, awesome. So how does somebody find you guys, get a hold of you guys? Maybe someone's got some land to donate. How do we find you?
Ooh, from your lips to God's ears, right?
Hey.
Stacy will put her personal phone number on anything if you've got land to donate.
That is true. But we have a website,
Okay.
Erath County Habitat for Humanity.
Okay.
.org. And then there is building at Erath County Habitat for Humanity.org.
Socials?
Is our email. Social, without a doubt, we have Erath County Habitat for Humanity.
Okay.
And we also have a Voice for Habitat page too. And then, what am I forgetting? Phone number.
We have an Instagram as well, but I couldn't tell you what it's called.
Yes, I
so
think
sorry.
it's. Yeah, I don't remember that one either.
We're working on we need some.
You're building houses for volunteering. So, hey,
If anybody
it
out there
matter.
wants to volunteer to help us with our social media platforms, I would say we would love that.
I
help.
just get frustrated with Insta. I
I got it down.
Well, you have to get
You
the
wanna
pictures
volunteer?
in
I'm
the
saying-
right aspect.
yes.
And so I get it all ready to go, and I go to, post it on both Facebook and Insta, and I'll say, your aspects are wrong. Well, sorry. Then I just don't need you, Insta. So it just ends up Facebook.
We need to work on one social that goes everywhere.
Yes.
It seems like with the technology we have these days, why hasn't someone
If we can get that platform, this is what I want to say. Just send it out to wherever.
to everywhere,
We
right
have
here like
X,
this.
too. And we don't do anything there either, but we have it. So we got all those things. But phone number, the Habitat phone number, 254-413-5869. I think I remembered that correctly.
I hope you're
Awesome.
correct. Or
Well, see,
somebody's
you
about
got
to get
that
some
going
phone
on. You may
calls.
not have Insta, but you can remember numbers because I only have mine. Oh, it's
I do
terrible
that
these
as a
days.
mental exercise too. I've got to where
I need to.
at least every week I review my parents' phone number, my kids' phone numbers.
I need to.
All of these different phone numbers because you never know when you're going to get caught without your own phone.
Or
I
dead
did that
phone,
one time.
or
Yes.
I locked my phone in a venue and couldn't get to it overnight, and it was.
Yeah, I'd literally be stuck just calling myself. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing. Probably need to get off the socials and do more of that. All right. Well, thank you for what you guys do, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
It was so wonderful to have you there. Thank you.
Oh, that was an honor.
Thank you.
Next year.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
We're going to hold you to that.
Hey, I said it.